it is match 2 in the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. Hoskins taking on Mike Miller. And you had mentioned before, towards the end of that match, Hoskins searching a little bit.
Well, he was searching on the left lane, and we'll see if he can get this lane back again. If Mike Miller gets it going, he's got the power on the ball to strike all day. First frame for Hoskins, through the nose, leaves the 6-pin and the 10-pin. He's lost a little bit, and for Mike Miller, who has got to be nervous, watching his opposition start like that, it's got to help.
Hoskins defeated Mark Williams in that opening match by 30. Boom, picks it up. A little bit better than the first game when he opened with an open.
A little better start, but still kind of lost. Let's take our first look at the powerful Mike Miller.
Without the thumb.
Cups the ball in his hand. Look, the thumb does not even enter the thumb hole at all, and bang. Fortunate, just the 2-pin. He's very pleased with that. Expected the ball to hook back.
Miller, 6'1", 180 pounds. Been out here for 17 years.
Watch the ball come in light. Fortunate the 10-pin fell out. A lot of times when the ball comes back that far, you leave the 2-pin and the 10-pin. He switches balls, puts his thumb in that ball to throw it very, very straight. Now, Mike was on tour back in the early 80s, and he was what was known as a stroker. He did not throw a big hook, and then he decided he needed more power on the ball, and he tried this nose thumb thing. Everybody laughed at him when he first started doing it. He's been very successful without putting the thumb in the ball now.
He's won a couple of titles. Second frame. There's a good shot at it. He can twist it up, out, and back. Boom. Oh, my. That's fun to watch. I would think it'd be tough to go with the spare ball. You put the thumb in as we take another look.
Well, great shot from Mike Miller. The ball just high flush in the pocket, and the problem with the no thumb is getting consistent, making shot after shot. The thumb is there to help you control the shot. We take a look at Steve-Hoskins on lane 24.
Well, looks like a little Don Johnson throwing that right hand out a little bit. And a strike in the second. We are dead even.
Well, it was a little bit of fortunate is what it was, Phil. That ball's very high, and it stopped hooking at the back end of the lane. I thought that was going to be through the nose. As you can see, a little bit of a thank you from Steve.
Hoskins averaged 236 the first 6 games this week, and really just kept it up. Qualified in the number 4 spot. Moved on after he beat Mark Williams, and now taking on Mike Miller.
Hoskins, a player who generally likes to throw the big hook, is throwing hard and straight, what they call freezing the ball in the pocket. There's a double.
Beautiful looking shot by Hoskins, so he has a double. Miller down by 10. Miller up in the 3rd frame. First appearance for Mike of 98. Cashed in 9 of 24 events. High game this week, 280. Low game, 187. And he's averaged 222 on this TV pair. And he has a double, so match back to even. And Marshall, here's Dexter, Footwork of the pros. Take a look at Mike Miller.
Well, watch Mike as he takes very, very short steps, very deliberate, and that cupped wrist, bang, the way he releases through the ball. And look at the solid formation at the line. Great looking delivery.
Dexter, Footwork of the pros.
Chance to take this from an even match to a 10-pin lead for Mike Miller.
We talked about Hoskins' eyes a little bit. You take a look at Mike Miller. Ooh, he's focused, but an errant shot in the 4th.
That was all in the release. Did not get the proper fingers on the ball. I think the ball got down on the lane a little bit early and just cuts right through the heart. He leaves the 1, the 2, the 4, the 6, and the 10. 2 ways to make this. You can either go left of the head pin and knock the head pin into the 6-10. You see his reaction of befuddlement. Or you can go between the 1 and the 3. We'll see how he plays it.
Gets 3 of the 5, but Mike Miller down now. In match 2 to Steve-Hoskins. Brunswick, Tournament of Champions, back with more in a minute.
In the senior veterans category, congratulations to both of them.
Proud to say that was my dad, the artist. The 2 pictures in the background, and does a nice job. Nice to see the pictures hanging behind the Hall of Famers. Steve-Hoskins up in the 4th, working on a double, leads by 19.
Well, he answers the call when he has the opportunity to take advantage of a break. He really gets it done. Now watch this little reaction. Dancing Steve.
After a spare to start this game, 3 strikes, up in the 5th, leads by 29. (13 and 11 in match play this week. Distracted.
Well, something distracted Steve. I'm not sure what it was. Usually, you know, with our new format, there's lots of distractions out there. People hooping and hollering, and Steve said, that's okay, we'll start it all over again. It'd be interesting to see if that might be a shot clock violation. 25 seconds to get the shot off on our telecast. Steve certainly taking more time than that.
Brings it back.
And was it worth the wait? I think he said it was.
Hoskins getting the crowd going. 4 in a row for Hoskins.
Take a look at the way these pins scatter all over the place, and if you think the pins are fun to watch this. He's not done.
Mike Miller hung around the top 5 or 6 all week long. Very consistent this week. He gets him to scatter.
There's Mike's family.
Wife, Jody Ann.
His boy Chris.
Well, Mike Miller has to get it going now. I mean, we're halfway through this match, but a lot can happen in a short time out here.
Well, he can. He's 39 down right now. Strike here will take it to 29. And more importantly, this is the same lane that he left that 1-2-4-6-10 on. Really, for confidence factor, needs to make a good shot on 24. And he made a great shot. That's a solid 10. 6-pin wrapped around the bottom of the 10-pin. Tough break and an important time as Jody Ann and Chris take a look at that. Watch the 6-pin, second from the right around the bottom. And the reaction of his family. Ugh.
Now that's called a ringing 10. Is that right, Marshall?
Yeah, it's a ringing 10, or you can call it a hard 10, or you can call it many things that can't be discussed on national television.
Not lucky. There's Jody Ann. Good look at the family, the Miller family, as Steve-Hoskins now in the 6th frame. Leads by 39.
That he pulled, and he got away with it. The ball was left of his target, and it just held as there's a very happy family of Steve's. There's Lindsay, little boy Ryan, and Lisa. Very pleased with the way Steve is bowling right now. And
well, this is the first time that Steve has made a telecast here in the Tournament of Champions. In fact, last year he placed 50th in the TSC.
He's starting to work the crowd while they were taking a shot of his family. He's over there trying to make the crowd get even louder. He has had much success in the arena formats. Won the Touring Players Championship in Pittsburgh a couple of years ago, and it really jump-started his career.
Got it out, coming back, and just a 10-pin. Here in the 7th frame for Hoskins, his 5th TV appearance of the year. He had 5 TV appearances last year.
Well, watch the 6-pin as it just sits in the channel, will not come back out. And right now, the position Steve's in, that's fine. He's hitting the pocket. He had 5 in a row. He's up by 48 pins. Just fill the frame, Steve. He should be in good shape.
Homeowner. 1,000 square feet, sports bar, 10,000 square feet employs 150 people. This is just a gorgeous center.
Very impressive. Glad to be here, I'll tell you.
Mike Miller,
Needs
7th frame.
to strike. Well, that'll pretty much do it for Mike. He needs to make this. If he makes a spare and then could strike out, he's got an outside chance. But Steve-Hoskins dominating with 5 in a row, and Mike Miller right now struggling with what could possibly be his second open frame in the first 7.
It's just 1, so Miller having some problems.
You know, it's a shame that Mike isn't bowling better, because you watch Steve-Hoskins get all excited when he gets it going. Mike Miller's pretty exciting too, but it's hard to get pumped up when you're struggling.
The winner of this match will take on Walter Ray Williams Jr. Seven pin for Miller in the 8th frame. So it looks like Hoskins right now going to move on to take on Walter Ray Williams Jr. What a year he has had. What a fall tour Walter Ray has had. We'll talk about that coming up in a little bit as Miller picks up the spare. This is the PBA's first visit to Overland Park since 1989, when Butch Soper won the King Louis Open. First time the PBA Tour's biggest event has come to Incred-a-bowl, which is less than 2 years old. Fans, the crowd, been great all week. Oh, that's unfair. The assassin. Oh, my.
Now, Steve found himself a little bit of room, and that's what the bowlers are trying to do. You always want to try, as we take a look at Steve-Hoskins, low profile, high backswing, strong follow through. A good action, strong ball going through the pins. It's important to try and develop a little bit of room on the lane. If you feel like you've got to hit one board at 25 feet down the lane, you're probably not going to do very well. But if you can build a little area, build some confidence, you'll get a lot of those.
Hoskins putting on a show. Hoskins will declare Hoskins the winner, up 71. Mike Miller in the 9th, finishing it out. Frustrating afternoon.
Well, a good shot for Mike Miller, and I would personally like to thank Mike Miller along with Parker Bone III, Mike Albee, Curtis Odom, Jason Couch, and Doug Kent. They donated a lot of time to Josh Hyde, who has cerebral palsy. They drove 10 hours out of their way and 10 hours back to raise $8,000 for Josh, and it was certainly something that I think the people, the bowling fans, need to know about. So we'll take our hats off to those gentlemen.
Ambassadors for the sport, a 10-pin. That's what it's all about here on the PBA Tour, giving of time.
And even when Mike hits the pocket, as he was relating to as he was coming back, his ball is entering the pocket at the wrong angle. It's coming in too steep, so it's a solid 10 on what was a good shot. And for Mike Miller, 178, the best he can do. Certainly disappointing, but on the other hand, gratifying. He'll finish 4th in the Brunswick World Tournament of Champions. That's a great week and a pretty nice payday for Mr. Miller.
Well, Miller made the finals in the 91 TFC in Akron. He finished 3rd in that event. Loves major events, always does very well in major tournaments, and there you go. Take that.
There's a little of his personality coming out, but unfortunately we weren't able to really see the real Mike Miller and the kind of fun that he likes to have on the lanes. But here comes the real deal, Steve-Hoskins. He can strike out for 269.
After opening with a 204 to beat Mark Williams. Steve-Hoskins has been red hot. Next up for Hoskins, Walter Ray Williams Jr.